Alright guys, here we are. I got the rams in the tank, and we already got some crazy activity going on. I think we got two males going at it over here. And they've literally been in the tank for just a few minutes now. Everybody's colored up real well. That's the only female I can find right now. I think unfortunately what I have here is 3 or 4 males and 1 or 2 females, and I can honestly only see 1 female right now. I was just doing a big water change and I noticed something got sucked up into the hose. I'm hoping it was a little moss ball, but now I'm starting to be concerned it was actually a fish, because I can't find what I thought was at least 1 other female. So I'm going to keep hunting for that and keep doing my maintenance over here, and I'll keep checking back in on this tank. What's going on, fishy friends? Just got home and coming down to check out the fish room. And what I had done the other day was moved all my rams down here, and I put a new light up there over this plant, because I just kind of tossed a couple of plants in here. Over this plant, did I say? Over this tank. Because I had just tossed a couple of plants in here for some of my other tanks, just while I was throwing all these rams in here to see if anybody might pair off. I'm 95% positive that there are 2 females and 4 males in this tank. Obviously that's not ideal. There's a female there in the front and a male behind her. Those 2 almost seem like they might be trying to find each other. The 2 females definitely have very pink bellies. That is much more pronounced now that they're both in this tank, along with a lot of other males. What do we got, everybody, here? Let's see. That's one of the females there. She's kind of pecking after a couple males, and there's the other female there. If you can see, the belly is very, very pink on those 2. Very hard to see because of the way I set up this light kind of pointing at me here. That's one of the females with the pink belly, and a bunch of males around her. Some of the other characteristics of male versus female rams, which none of these are very accurate until you see 2 fish breed, by the way. Most of these are just guesses otherwise, but the pink belly is usually a sign of a female. Some of the other characteristics would be the elongated dorsal ray. The 2nd and 3rd spines of the dorsal ray on the males are usually taller than the rest of their dorsal ray spines. Hard to see him there. Let's see, most of these guys are a little too fast. Another way I like to tell is by the length of the anal fin. On the males, the anal fin usually extends past the joint of the tail, or the caudal fin, and the body. On the females, that anal fin usually stops just at or before the joint of the caudal tail and the body. There's some other ways I've seen people try to sex these things, maybe by the shape of the back of the dorsal fin. I think the males is usually a little pointier. I'm not too sure on that one. But none of these are really 100% given on these fish. You can often have females that show male characteristics and vice versa. So that's why with rams and with discus and other species, mainly South American cichlids, I guess, a lot of the times you can't really prove you have a male and a female until you see those 2 fish breed. So now that we got a whole lot of rams in one tank, we are definitely seeing some aggression, which is typical of rams and many South American cichlids. What's interesting to me right now is that it doesn't just seem to be male-on-male aggression the way I expected it to be, and it doesn't seem to be all the males picking on the 2 females necessarily. It seems like one of the females is a bit aggressive, which I find very, very interesting. Everybody's only been in this tank for about 24 hours, give or take, so we're still going to keep monitoring for a while and see what happens. Do have a couple of flat rocks in here. as potential spawning sites if anybody decides that they're going to do anything. So far, so good. Everybody looks very healthy and very colorful, and we'll see what happens. Alright guys, that's it for now. I'll check in later. Alright guys, just wanted to talk a little bit more about sexing rams and telling the difference between a male and a female. There's one of the females there. The pink belly, dorsal rays are extended. Notice the second and third ray are a bit elongated, but not that much. She's disappearing on me now. Let's see, who else do we got? There's another female. Oh, and a male that's going to chase her away. Notice the dorsal rays on that male. Second and third ray are very elongated compared to that first fish. There she is. Also notice the anal fin. The anal fin on this fish is relatively short. She's a little beat up right now, actually, so it's shorter than usual. But it does not extend all the way to the joint, so to say, between the caudal fin, the tail, and the body. Typically, that's a female characteristic. Also, the black dot on her side, notice there's blue speckling through it. That is another female characteristic. Again, none of these are surefire, none of these are foolproof, but these are some traits that males and females tend to carry. Male, elongated second and third dorsal fin, dorsal ray. The anal fin extends past the joint between the caudal fin, or the tail, and the body. If we can see it there. See that anal fin? It goes past that joint, and it stretches out towards the tail. Not to the tip of the tail, but at least reaching past that joint of tail and body. As opposed to the females chasing each other right now, which seems a little odd. Notice that short anal fin. It does not even reach the joint between the tail and the body. Now the male, anal fin's long. It passes that joint between the caudal fin and the body. This one does have some speckling through the black dot there. So again, that can't be used necessarily as a definitive characteristic. All the rest are hiding in the back right now, so it's tough to do too much comparison. But those are pretty much the main differences that people try to use when sexing rams. Again, the only surefire way to know is to see one fish lay eggs and then see another fish come behind and fertilize those eggs. Then you've got a guaranteed male and female. Other than that, you're pretty much guessing. Of all those different characteristics, the pink belly seems to be the best, well, the best, least accurate way, at least, to sex these things. Unfortunately, when you're looking at these fish in a local fish store, if they've been juiced up with some hormones, the males can sometimes show that pink belly as well. And that's just an unfortunate side effect. And those hormone-juiced fish will look real nice and colorful. They'll almost all look like males in the store, and eventually they'll kind of fade out, I believe. Everybody else is just hanging, so hopefully that gives anybody who is questioning how to sex these fish a somewhat decent idea of what to try. But as I keep saying, there's just no surefire way to do it. Alright guys, I'll keep checking in on this one. See ya.